Welcome back to another video, and today with another mini computer, but in this particular case with a computer that has a CPU that we still haven't tested here on the channel. I was really curious to see, and it actually surprised me by the positive way. So I want to share with you everything that we can do with this machine. It has the AMD Ryzen 5 5600U, 8 cores, 12 threads, up to 4.4 gigahertz, so not bad at all. It comes with Windows 11 Pro pre-installed, activated, but if you have a computer without Windows activated, don't forget to check out cdksales.com, which is a platform that we have been using for the past few months. Really easy to purchase, easy to activate, official OEM keys at an affordable price, and with the coupon code RJCK you will get an extra 30% discount. So I will leave a link down below just next to the link for this Reatan mini computer, which is, in my opinion, for the performance that I will share with you and the price, not a bad option at all. In terms of specifications, beside the CPU, in this particular case we also have 32 gigabytes of RAM DDR4 and 1 terabyte of SSD M.2. There are at least two other versions of this mini computer, one with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 of storage, and another one with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 of storage. Regardless of the version that you choose, you will be able to upgrade it. So if you are on a lower budget and you want to purchase the lower end of this computer and then later on upgrade the RAM and the SSD, you will be able to do so. It's very easy. We just need to unscrew right over here, open it up, and we will have access to the RAM. In this particular case, we already have 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is the maximum, and we have 1 terabyte of SSD, but I can go up 2 terabytes on the M.2 SSD. Besides that, while I was with the case open, I did check it out that it has an extra slot for an SSD of 2.5 inches or a mechanical hard drive, just in case we want to have more storage inside for games and for movies, multimedia, and so on and so forth. So really nice to see that. In terms of connectivity, we have everything that we need as well. We will find right over here 2 USB Type A 3.1 generation 2, 1 USB Type C 3.1 generation 2, audio out, and then on the back we have 2 USB 2.0, 1 Ethernet gigabit, 2 HDMI 2.0, 60 Hz at 4K, and 1 microSD card slots on the side. In terms of performance, the SSD is giving me roughly 2500 megabytes per second on reads and 2000 on writes, so really snappy machine. Wi-Fi also great, 400 megabits per second download and 100 upload. And on Geekbench, which was where I was surprised by the positive, because it has a great performance for what it has. We got a 1500 on single core score and roughly 5100 on multi-core score. And the result that impressed me more was the single core score, because it is matching up with top tier machines that we have been using right over here. Actually, not only here, but also anywhere in the world. If you browse Geekbench, you will find some machines with that score that are premium machines. So really happy to see right over here the AMD doing so well in terms of the single core score, which, as you guys know, browsing the web, for example, and apps similar to that only use one core, and here it can take advantage and be a really fast machine. Now, in terms of multi-core score, it's also really interesting, and I will share some results with you in terms of real-world performance, but it is comparable with an i7 10th generation, and we are talking about the i7 10850H, which is a CPU that has been used on mini computers, on laptops, a very well-known CPU. So great performance, but this one beats it on the single core. Now, in terms of GPU, we also tested it out, and it gave us a score of 8500, so this will be a little bit limited, but I will show you a way that you can lift that limit. And in this particular case, no, it's not Thunderbolt, but I will share that with you. Now, in terms of graphics, if we compare with an NVIDIA GPU, we are talking about a comparison of a NVIDIA 880M, so a laptop GPU that we used about 3-4 years ago. So this will be the only limitation. Not bad at all, but a limitation for those that are wondering if this is good for gaming or not. And it is for some games, but we will talk about that in just a few moments. Cinebench, so that we can wrap up the benchmarks part. On single core score we got 1372 and multi-core score 6500. So you can compare with some machines that you are seeing right over there on screen, but the one that we notice more is the i7 7700K, which is not a CPU for laptops and mini computers. It is a full-fledged desktop CPU that we have used in the past. Now, benchmarks don't mean much if we don't use a computer with real-life situations. So what we can get from these numbers, if you are wondering if this is a machine like some that we have seen here on the channel that are good enough for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, but we cannot do much more than that, you are wrong, because this one has a lot more power than you need for those tasks. So I would say that this machine can be very versatile if we use it on a location that we can do a lot of tasks with it. Some of them 24/7 and some of them for our entertainment. For example, if I put it on the living room and I have my Home Assistant server and I've got my Plex server and I've got probably multiple servers of each because I've got RAM and CPU enough for that. And when I want to watch a movie, I've got my multimedia setup right over there connected to my TV. And when I want to play games, I also have it right over there on my TV. So this is probably the best case scenario that I can see. A machine that can be used for a lot of stuff and not only to be used on a desk for desk work. One of the things that we use a lot here is Home Assistant and Grafana, for example, where we can check out our consumptions in terms of power and so on and so forth. So this will be a machine that will handle several virtual machines with Home Assistant without any issues whatsoever. So you can have your own Home Assistant and you can have your neighbor's Home Assistant right over here without any issues. If we want to build a Plex server or AMD server or any other software, you can. You will have here a device that will stream movies and series for any device on network. And not only that, we can stream just locally right over here so that we can watch it on the TV. Besides all that, if you want to edit some videos of your GoPro or any other drone that you have or your phone, then you can. I did test out the tool that comes with Windows 11 and we saw some curious results right over there. Now, the first that I want to show you is that we can render a video 4K 30 frames per second, 14 minutes more or less, in exactly the same time. So if we use this software right over here, we will get for a 30-minute video a 30-minute render, 1 minute video, 1 minute render, and so on and so forth. But if you pay attention to the screen, you'll see that the GPU is being used 85% and the CPU only 30%. So this gives me one hint, which is the software that comes with Windows 11 is still not there in terms of the optimization for the hardware. So I would say that if you use the free DaVinci Resolve, for example, you will be able to render a lot faster because it will take advantage of the hardware that we have right over here. So if you ask, hey Robert, can I edit videos right over here? More demanding tasks like photo editing, Photoshop, and so on and so forth? Yes, the answer is totally yes. The only limitation that I see is in terms of gaming, as we expect. Nonetheless, I did test it out with Overwatch 2 and the results were quite good. We were talking about 1080 resolution medium settings and we were getting roughly 70 to 75 frames per second, which is not bad at all for this machine. But I do believe that it's limited because if we want to play with higher end graphics, then the results will start to lower and lower in terms of frames per second. My suggestion would be to use cloud gaming on this machine and any other machine that it's limited in terms of the GPU. Now, I do use Xbox cloud gaming and the experience is awesome. I did share this multiple times here on the channel and I still am. So if you are looking for a machine that's capable of doing and also AAA play, this is one of the best solutions that I've tried so far. Cloud gaming or even game streaming, which is something that we have done here on the channel as well. great for that. And basically this is it. In my opinion, this is a machine that in terms of performance delivers a lot, and then in terms of price is also cheaper than what I was expecting for this kinds of machine. That being said, link down below so that you guys can check it out and decide for yourself. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did so, don't forget that usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.